Hello everyone, I'm Teguh Kurniawan from Universitas Indonesia, where I am serving as the head of the Public Administration Department and as the chairman of the Innovation and Comparative Governance Research Cluster. Today, I'm excited to present our paper on the Pang Pang Bay Mangrove Conservation and Restoration Program. This initiative is critical not only for the local ecosystem, but also for the communities that rely on these mangroves for their livelihoods. Our research team consists of dedicated individuals, Alexander L.Q. Chen or Alex from Roskilde University, and also my colleagues from Universitas Indonesia, Sipa Amania Apra or Sipa, and then Salsabila Amanda Putri or Manda, and then Muhammad Imam Alpi Sarin or Alpi, and Marcel Angwin or Marcel. Together, we have been exploring innovative approach to effectively conserve and restore mangrove habitats. This project is part of the research project led by the esteemed Professor Jacob Torping from Roskilde University in Denmark. His expertise has been invaluable in shaping our strategies in developing co-creation. So I will tell you more about our project. The Pang Pang Bay projects align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by tackling critical challenges faced by mangrove ecosystem, such as environmental degradation and the impacts of climate change. We believe that through collaborative governance and active community engagement, we can create sustainable solutions that not only protect these vital ecosystems, but also enhance the well-being of the local communities. This research supports achievement of at least 5 SDGs, SDGs 1 and 2, eradicating poverty and hunger, also support SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities aims to protect coastal cities, SDGs 13, protect communities from climate-related disaster on climate action, SDGs 14, which focus on marine and coastal governance, and SDGs 15 on life on land, emphasizing our commitment to fostering resilience and sustainability. Now I will tell you more about this project. It is interesting to see further implementation of SDGs not only in well-developed countries, but in developing either underdeveloped countries also. While many developed countries have successfully implemented this concept, it may need to be tailored to better suit the unique context of developing nations. Our research focuses on how co-creation initiatives can be established in a developing country context. The Mangrove Conservation and Restoration Program in Teluk Pangpang, Banyuwangi, which has been active since 1990, was chosen as our case study because it is situated in one of the largest mangrove areas in East Java. The area has suffered from rapid mangrove deforestation over the last several decades, hence triggered the Mangrove Conservation and Restoration Movement to combat mangrove deforestation has since grown into a large-scale, formalized collaborative network. Since the collaborative network was established, a comprehensive evaluation has never been done before. Through this research, we are eager to know how co-creation is carried out in the Mangrove Conservation and Restoration Program based on 15 governance factors. Now I will explain further about how our research is going. Refers to the latest data of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Did you know that Indonesia is home for 3.4 million hectares of mangrove forest? It equals to 20% of the world's mangrove. World Bank in 2023 also revealed Indonesia has the potential to develop mangrove-based blue carbon project with a net present value of 532 million US dollar, reducing up to 11 million tons of carbon dioxide a year. However, in the most densely populated place, the world's largest mangrove ecosystem have been steadily depleted. The findings of this study suggest that the establishment of institutions for co-creation is shaped by regulatory framework, influenced by the interpretation and debates of various actors, and rooted in specific spatial and temporal contexts. Based on the research findings, governance factor 1 is the most important factor over all 15 governance factors. The governance factor 8 obtained as impactful factor, and governance factor 6 score as non-impactful factor. And if we talk more about the research method, this research follow on post-positivism paradigm and employ qualitative data collection. Interview and FGDs are conducted in person with actors, including local community leaders and government officials. In carrying out interview and discussion, the study follow a research framework and instrument developed by co-creation of green transition teams, consisting part of co-creation phase, structural governance factors, strategic governance factors, and tactical and operational governance factors. We conduct field work in Phang Phang Bay 3 times during the write-up of the case report since 2021 to 2024. During the field work, we have interviewed 60 to 70 individuals. We also administer a survey to 27 relevant respondents out of the 16 informants. We designate this collaborative network, which is the analytical focus of this case study, as the Phang Phang Bay Mangrove Conservation and Restoration Program. The integrated case analysis offer a historical overview analysis of the development of the Phang Phang Bay Mangrove Conservation and Restoration Program. Hence, I want to share the result from this research. I will explain refers on 2 major findings. First, from survey result, and second is from overall result, including interview and observation result. Result based on survey. First, based on the survey findings, a substantial majority of respondents either agree or strongly agree with all survey items. Second, there is a widespread acknowledgement that the mangrove conservation and restoration program have facilitated high levels of collaboration, leveraging experience across the public, private, and civil society sectors. Third, in turn, the collaborative problem-solving process has seen a diverse range of input and ideas, challenging the conventional wisdom behind mangrove conservation and restoration program in general. Now, research based on overall research findings. First, according to our research findings, governance factor 1, which is about how important people think the biosphere conditions are, received the highest score out of all 15 governance factors, showing it is the most important part of the co-creation process. Second, an important lesson was learned from the 1990s conservation failure, which has linked to the introduction of commercial and private enterprise into land usage and culminate in a protracted tidal flood calamity. Third, additionally, the second governance factor, the governance factor 8, which focus on building or using institutional platform and arenas, has an accumulation score of 0.66, making it a key factor that drives the co-creation process in this mangrove conservation and restoration program. 4, the collaborative meetings that take place as part of the mangrove conservation and restoration program are primarily in-person events that facilitate face-to-face contacts that are essential for efficient communication and coordination. And 5, finally, because it has the lowest cumulative score, 0, the government factor 6 about strategic agenda setting by means of translation is deemed to be the least influential governance factors. Several interviewees who represent local and regional administration have expressed confusion of and lack of understanding of the Sustainable Development Goals. Therefore, to support those findings even more, our team has given the village apparatus and the important stakeholder in the mangrove conservation and restoration community program a community engagement, such as an advocacy and socialization for the SDGs program. That is all about the research result. So, sum up this presentation, I have prepared 4 critical points highlighted upon this research. First, co-creation has become a popular topic in public administration research and practice. It is being adopted in various activities, including effort to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Co-creation is also happening in developing countries like Indonesia. The mangrove conservation and restoration case in Banyuwangi illustrates that even in bureaucratic setting, community members can successfully leverage everyday bureaucratic process to foster co-creation. Third, however, governments that stick to strict performance management system often struggle to create collaborative governance that include multiple stakeholders. 4. The way communities have managed to establish several key factors for change beyond just environmental issue amidst complex dynamics is an area that has not been truly explored in this research. This presents an important opportunity for future research to investigate. To close this presentation, let us remember that through collaboration and community engagement, we can create sustainable solutions that benefit both our ecosystem and the people who rely on them. Like Aristotle said, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. That is all from me. Thank you, and see you at Winner Conference 2000.